Okay, we're leaving on our way to Miami. Faith's cold.
I'm freezing and he wants to take this video and I'm like, get me inside.
Okay.
There's like literal frost on the ground. If you're like me, when you think of Miami, you think of a vibrant culture, beautiful beaches, and luxurious living. And you'd be right. This was mine and Daniel's first time in the area, and it did not disappoint. So if you're looking for things to do that can fit into a weekend trip, you've come to the right place. Our first stop in Miami was the Vizcaya Museum and Gardens. We got there bright and early to see this beautiful former home of James Deering. This guy knew how to live it up. For a small fee, you can walk through the magnificent home and pretend you're strolling right into the Great Gatsby. Each room is beautifully and incredibly decorated. You can even view his private pool. Make sure you take a nice stroll around the gardens, see the interesting architecture, and smell that fresh ocean air. Speaking of the ocean, while the gardens and home are fantastic, the real showstopper is the ocean view. I was taken aback at the view at first as I didn't realize how close this home is to the ocean. But it's so close you can literally sit and watch the ships go by while feeling the ocean breeze on your skin. Our next stop was lunch, which what better place to explore the culinary culture of Miami than by heading to Little Havana. We walked on the street, taking in the art under the afternoon sun. For lunch, we went to Old Havana. It did not disappoint. Ooh. On our way to Bayside Marketplace, we drove by the Wynwood Walls. This area is great for taking pics and shopping, but was incredibly crowded, so we decided to skip it. However, if you plan on visiting this area, I definitely recommend going early. The Bayside Marketplace is another option of a place to visit if you want to be near the ocean. There are lots of bars and restaurants if you're wanting to eat. It's also a great option if you're wanting to book a trip, go shopping, or take a ride on their awesome Ferris wheel. We chose just to people watch and take a stroll. Since it was getting late, we decided to make one final stop in Miami that day at the Hard Rock Stadium. This is a must-see if you're a Dolphins fan. Unfortunately for us, the stadium was closed, but I recommend trying to see a game here if you can. We ended our night eating some delicious tacos in Fort Lauderdale at Lona Cocina Tecalera. The next morning would prove to be an adventure. We booked an Everglades Airboat tour at the Sawgrass Recreation Park. If you're this close to the Everglades, how could you not do this? We had fun on our airboat, and I personally really loved when it would go super fast. We also got to see a really neat turtle that seemed to love our group. And just when we thought we weren't going to get a glimpse at the most famous creature here, we did get to see a crocodile. After our Everglades tour, we headed off to Miami Beach. Miami Beach is full of luxurious condos and palm trees lining the streets. It really felt like a totally different part of Miami here. Also, parking was horrendous, so maybe keep that in mind if you plan to drive. We opted to grab some lunch at Joe's Stone Crab for some delicious crabs and fried chicken. You wouldn't think a crab place would have great chicken, but it did. You can choose to either dine in at the restaurant or take it away for a nice picnic near the ocean. After our delicious lunch, we went for a walk and ended up at the beach. The water was really cold, so I chose not to go in, but Daniel did, and he got some really cool footage. We then just spent the evening driving around and walking around the area. On our last morning, we had a little bit of time before our flight, so we wandered over to the Bonnet House in Fort Lauderdale. I know what you're thinking. Another rich person's house? Well, yeah. But this one was totally different than the Vizcaya Museum. It had more of an artistic flair and had tons of unique and quirky pieces lining the halls. You can easily peruse the villa and its surroundings in about an hour. So I didn't really know what to expect at the Bonnet House, but I'm just really pleasantly surprised. I feel like the owners of this house, they were artists, so they have all these different pieces. You have like something that looks like a lion, or is a lion, or a giraffe, or all these different random pieces and it all goes together. It's definitely an awesome sight to see in Fort Lauderdale. Whether you enjoy hanging out at a beautiful beach, exploring a magnificent villa to make you feel like you're back in time, or eating delicious food, Miami has a little bit of flair for everyone.
We are having bacalao with octopus, and I cannot wait to dig in. And we wanted to go to college football stadiums while we were here in Miami, and I had typed in the old Miami Orange Bowl, where University of Miami played and the Orange Bowl used to be, and it got demolished, and now it's Ocean Bank Stadium for the Miami Marlins, so sad day.